Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. The less you need from the world, the more power you quietly hold over it. Sigma males aren't here to impress anyone. They're not built for the spotlight, office politics, or pretending to enjoy team-building games. They want something real: independence, control, and purpose. If you're the kind of man who values silence over small talk, freedom over routine, and truth over trends, then you're not lazy or antisocial. You're a Sigma male. And this world, it doesn't know what to do with you, so it tries to label you. But you don't need a label. You need a life that fits you. That's why this video breaks down 14 of the best careers for Sigma males. Not the usual stuff people shove down your throat, but real paths where you can use your focus, solitude, and inner discipline to build something powerful without becoming someone you're not. These aren't jobs for approval seekers. They're for those who move in silence, think deeply, and act with purpose. And here's the truth. When you find a career that aligns with your Sigma nature, life stops feeling like a trap and starts feeling like something you control, like something you own. So don't just watch this for ideas, watch it for direction. Watch it until the end, because your next step might not be loud or obvious, but it will be yours. You're not meant to fit in. You're meant to find your own lane and walk it like you were born for it, because you were. Let's dive in rare breeds. Number 1. Crisis negotiator or hostage mediator. Why it fits the Sigma male like a glove. When most people hear crisis negotiator, they picture someone shouting through a megaphone or talking fast to save lives. But the real power in this role isn't in volume, it's in control. It's staying calm when chaos erupts. It's reading the room when everyone else is panicking, and that's exactly where the Sigma male shines. Sigma males don't crumble under pressure. They sharpen. When emotions are high and time is ticking, the Sigma doesn't get sucked into the drama. He detaches, observes, and calculates. He listens for what's not being said. He watches body language like a chessboard. Every word he speaks is deliberate, clean, and meant to hit the right nerve without ever raising his voice. This job isn't about being loud, it's about being precise. In high-stakes situations where one wrong move can get someone killed, emotional control becomes a weapon. And Sigma males are naturally built for that kind of mental discipline. While others are reacting, the Sigma is responding, slowly, logically, strategically. Being a crisis negotiator also means working in silence, behind the scenes, away from the spotlight. No one's handing out trophies or likes here. But the stakes are real. And that's what the Sigma craves: real meaning, real consequence, real challenge. You don't need to be seen to make impact. Sometimes the strongest person in the room is the one who says the fewest words, but makes each one count. That's the Sigma male in a nutshell. So if you've ever felt like your calm under pressure was a curse in a world obsessed with loud leaders, think again. It's a gift, one that could save lives, literally. And that's why this role isn't just a job. It's a mirror of who you already are: grounded, surgical, unreadable, and dangerous in the best way possible. Number 2, firefighter. The calm inside the chaos. When most people think of firefighters, they picture loud sirens, flashing lights, and dramatic rescues. And yeah, that's part of the job. But what most don't realize is that the real power of a firefighter lies in something far quieter: control. The ability to stay calm when the world's on fire, literally. And that's where the Sigma male quietly stands out. Firefighting isn't just about running into burning buildings. It's about walking into them with a clear head while everyone else is losing theirs. Sigma males don't chase drama, they manage it. They aren't driven by adrenaline, but by purpose. They move with focus, not fear. They assess the scene, think 10 steps ahead, and react only when it matters. What makes this job so Sigma? First off, it's high stakes but low flash. You're doing serious work with serious consequences, but there's no need for small talk or boardroom politics. It's action over chatter, results over ego. You don't need to network when your work is the proof. Sigma males also value loyalty. And firefighters are a brotherhood of trust. You have each other's backs, not for approval, but because your life might literally depend on it. And when the shift ends, you go home, No emails, no Zoom meetings, just peace, until the next call. This career also offers freedom most don't see. With longer shifts and more days off, Sigma males often use their downtime to build side projects, businesses, or simply disconnect from the world. It's structured chaos, followed by deep solitude, the perfect rhythm for someone who thrives on both. Being a firefighter doesn't mean being the loudest hero. It means being the right kind of quiet in a world that panics. It's for the one who doesn't need attention, just purpose. If that sounds like you, don't overlook it. This might be more than a job. It might be the fire that forges your true self. Number 3. Cryptocurrency developer or dark web researcher, where Sigma males quietly redesign the world. This isn't your average tech job. It's not about coding for some startup with free coffee and ping pong tables. This is for the Sigma male who isn't just interested in freedom, he's obsessed with it. He doesn't want to work inside the system. He wants to study it, break it down, and rebuild it on his terms. That's why roles like cryptocurrency developer or dark web researcher aren't just fitting. They're tailor-made for the Sigma mindset. While most people see crypto and the dark web as mysterious or even shady, Sigma males see something different. Raw, unfiltered freedom. No middlemen, no gatekeepers, no rules that are blindly followed just because that's how it's always been. This space is chaotic, unpredictable, and full of opportunity for those who know how to navigate it. As a cryptocurrency developer, the Sigma male is more than just a coder. He's building digital tools that cut out banks, governments, and outdated systems. Every line of code is a middle finger to control. He's not in it for hype. He's in it because the idea of a self-running system, decentralized, borderless, and censorship-resistant, is exactly how his mind works. Or maybe he's a dark web researcher. Not a criminal, but a curious rebel. Someone who dives into hidden corners of the internet not to cause chaos, but to understand it. To learn what people do when no one's watching. To study the digital underground, like a sociologist with teeth. Sigma males aren't looking for safe paths. They want spaces where they can explore, think for themselves, and leave their fingerprints on systems no one else dares to touch. This isn't a job, it's a modern frontier. And if you've ever felt like the surface internet is too shallow, too fake, or too scripted, maybe that's your sign. The underground isn't for everyone, but maybe it's for you. Number 4. Autodidact researcher who works outside the institution, the lone scholar the system can't control. Not all brilliant minds wear lab coats or sit in Ivy League classrooms. Some sit alone in a quiet room, surrounded by books, journals, podcasts, and a burning obsession to understand everything. That's the Sigma male, the autodidact researcher, a self-taught mind who walks away from institutions not because he's not smart enough, but because they're too small for his thinking. He doesn't want a diploma on the wall. He wants truth. He wants knowledge that hasn't been sanitized, spoon-fed, or polished for mass approval. He'll dive headfirst into philosophy, quantum mechanics, ancient languages, or neuroscience, but not because someone assigned it, because something deep inside him needs to know. Universities play politics. They have hierarchies, agendas, funding rules. The Sigma male couldn't care less. He hates having to ask permission to think. He doesn't want to publish for approval. He wants to discover for himself. While others chase degrees, he chases depth. While others write papers to impress committees, he writes notes that may never be read by anyone, but matter more than half the academic journals out there. His research is raw, relentless, and real. He might spend 6 months obsessing over ancient Mesopotamian symbols, or weeks mapping out how time could bend in theoretical physics. He builds connections others miss. He sees links between seemingly unrelated ideas, and because he's not bound by an institution, his mind is truly free. This Sigma doesn't need applause, he doesn't need followers. But what he's quietly doing, it could change the way people think years from now. So if you've ever found yourself studying something for hours, not because you had to, but because you couldn't stop, you're not lazy, weird, or lost. You might just be the kind of mind this world desperately needs, but doesn't know how to handle. Keep digging. The truth belongs to those who seek it on their own terms. Number 5. Voiceover. Artist or anonymous narrator. The power of presence without the spotlight. Not every Sigma male wants to be seen. In fact, most prefer not to be. They don't need applause. They don't want a crowd. What they want is impact, on their own terms. That's why becoming a voiceover artist or anonymous narrator fits them like a glove. It's influence without exposure. It's control without chaos. It's being heard without having to be seen. Sigma males are naturally private. They're not out here trying to become internet famous or plaster their face all over social media. But hand them a mic and a message, they'll shake souls. Their voice becomes a quiet force that gets into people's heads and stays there. It's calm, it's grounded. It's not trying to impress you. That's exactly why you trust it. In this role, Sigma males become the voices behind documentaries, audiobooks, explainer videos, movie trailers, or powerful long-form content online. They can be telling a story, teaching a concept, or even narrating something dark and mysterious. Whatever the vibe, they bring depth, gravity, and presence, and they do it all without ever stepping into the spotlight. There's no small talk, no meetings filled with fluff. Just a mic, a script, a soundproof room, and the freedom to create on their own time. They choose when to work, how to speak, and what projects to lend their voice to. And while others chase fame, these Sigma males build anonymous legacies, recognized by sound, not face. People might never know who's behind the voice, but they feel it, they remember it, they respect it. So if you've got a voice that commands attention even in a whisper, and a mind that prefers privacy over performance, this could be your silent empire. You don't need the stage. You are the echo that shapes the room. Number 6. Freelance consultant who doesn't need clients. The Sigma who plays the game on his terms. Most people in the freelance world are hustling, pitching, chasing leads, and trying to stay booked. But the Sigma male, he does things completely differently. He's not knocking on doors or cold emailing anyone. He's not sitting in endless Zoom calls begging to be chosen. He builds his life and his business in a way that chooses for him. This is the freelance consultant who doesn't need clients. Why? Because he's mastered something far more powerful than marketing, positioning. Sigma males don't chase, they attract. They set up quiet systems, sharp portfolios, strategic content, or rare expertise that quietly signals, I'm not here for everyone. But if you're serious, you'll find me. And if someone doesn't get it, no problem. He'll walk. No drama, no chasing. Because the Sigma male isn't in this for popularity, approval, or even the money. He's in it for freedom, for control over his time, energy, and choices. He's the type to turn down well-paying gigs just because the energy feels off. He's not desperate. He's selective. And that terrifies people who are used to others saying yes too quickly. While others are scrambling to build a client base, this Sigma is quietly mastering his craft, optimizing his workflow, and automating the boring stuff. He might only work with 2 clients a year, but those projects are aligned, meaningful, and done completely on his schedule. And here's the real twist. People respect it. Clients feel the difference. They see that he's not begging, and suddenly they want him more. If you've ever wanted to work for yourself without selling your soul, this is your blueprint. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Be so dialed in, so real, and so good at what you do that people either align or disappear. That's the Sigma way. Quiet authority, zero desperation, full control. Number 7. Truck drivers, the road kings, who answer to no one. Truck driving isn't just a job for Sigma males. It's a way of life. The open road, the solitude, the complete freedom to come and go without anyone breathing down your neck, it's everything a Sigma could want. While the world is trapped in offices fighting over who said what in a meeting, the Sigma male is hundreds of miles away, cruising through mountain roads or empty highways with nothing but his thoughts, music, and the sound of tires humming against asphalt. This lifestyle hits different for a Sigma. He doesn't need constant interaction or office politics. He doesn't want a boss watching his every move. He wants peace, space, and independence. Truck driving gives him all of that, and pays well for it. No fake smiles, no forced small talk. Just pick up the load, deliver it, and disappear into the next journey. There's something deeply satisfying about it, too. He's not just running away from the system. He's making a living while staying far away from the nonsense of the 9-to-5 grind. It's not glamorous. And that's the point. Sigma males don't care about fancy titles or flashy offices. They care about control. And out on the road, they're in full control of their environment. And here's where it gets interesting. Many Sigma truck drivers turn their rigs into mobile sanctuaries. Books, podcasts, workout gear, even mini music studios in the back of the cab. The truck becomes more than transport. It becomes a moving fortress of solitude. So if you're a Sigma male who feels trapped by routine, who needs mental space to think, dream, or rebuild yourself, truck driving might be your escape hatch. You're not just driving, you're creating your own path in a world that's obsessed with keeping people in line. For Sigma males, the road isn't lonely, it's freedom on wheels. Number 8. Multi-instrumentalist, the quiet genius who speaks in sound. Sigma males don't just play instruments, they build worlds with them. While everyone else is chasing attention, the Sigma male is in a room full of strings, keys, wires, and sounds, creating something that most people won't even understand until years later. He's not trying to be the next pop star or viral sensation. He's chasing a feeling, a sound that's honest, haunting, and completely his own. Being a multi-instrumentalist is perfect for the Sigma male because it doesn't require the spotlight. It requires obsession, late nights, trial and error, hours lost in loops, layers, and melodies. He's not stuck to just a guitar or piano. He teaches himself drums, bass, synth, sitar, whatever the sound demands. And when most give up because it's too hard, he leans in. Because for him, mastery isn't a goal, it's a lifestyle. He doesn't just play music, he disappears into it. It becomes his escape from the fake noise of the world. It's therapy, rebellion, meditation, and expression, all rolled into one. And here's the twist. He might not even release anything. Some Sigma males keep their music to themselves, not out of fear, but because it's sacred. But if they do share it, it's not to impress. It's to connect. Silently, deeply, honestly. The Sigma multi-instrumentalist is the type to create a whole track from scratch, writing, playing, producing, mixing, without needing a single person's help. Not because he's arrogant, but because he loves the solitude of it, the control, the silence between the notes. And when he plays, you feel it. It's not polished, it's real. It carries something you can't name, but can't forget. So if you're a Sigma male with sounds in your head and hands that won't sit still, lean into it. Not for fame, not for followers, but because music is the one language that doesn't lie, and you've got something to say without ever saying a word. Number 9, photographer, the silent hunter of truth. Sigma males don't take pictures to impress people. They take them to capture something real, something raw, something most people miss because they're too busy trying to stage a perfect moment. The Sigma isn't interested in filters, fake smiles, or trendy poses. He's drawn to that 1 second when the mask slips, when the light hits just right, when a story tells itself without a single word. Photography is perfect for Sigma males because it lets them observe in silence. They don't need to speak. They don't need to be seen. They just need a camera, a sharp eye, and patience. While the world rushes around, Sigma photographers move slow and quiet, scanning, waiting, watching, looking for something that feels honest. And when they find it, click. That photo becomes a truth no one else could say out loud. They might be street photographers, catching the tension in a stranger's glance, or they might disappear into nature, documenting stillness, decay, rebirth. Others dive deep into portraits, capturing not what someone looks like, but who they really are when they stop pretending. That's the Sigma gift, seeing past the surface. They also love that photography gives them total freedom. No boss, no office, no script, just them, their lens, and the world. They can shoot in cities, forests, war zones, weddings, abandoned buildings, wherever the truth hides. And if they're good, the work speaks louder than they ever could. And here's the thing, they don't care if you like the photo. They care if you feel it. So if you're the kind of man who sees beauty in shadows, meaning in silence, and stories in the tiniest details, this might be your calling. Not to be a content creator, not to go viral, but to be a quiet witness in a loud world, a Sigma behind the lens, seeing what others never will, never. Number 10. Unconventional therapist or shadow coach, the one who doesn't sugarcoat the truth. Sigma males don't guide people through the darkness with soft affirmations and buzzwords. They drag them through it with brutal clarity, not to break them, but to wake them. That's what makes them powerful as unconventional therapists or shadow coaches. They've faced their own demons without help, burned down their own illusions, and rebuilt from scratch, alone. So when someone walks in carrying chaos, a Sigma doesn't flinch. He's been there. He speaks the language of the storm. Unlike traditional therapists who stick to protocols and worksheets, the Sigma's method is raw, it's personal, it's intuitive. He doesn't need a PhD to see through someone's mask. He listens quietly, watches the patterns, and then drops a sentence so true it cuts through years of self-deception. He doesn't do small talk. He gets straight to the wound. What makes him dangerous in a good way is that he doesn't give people what they want to hear. He gives them what they need. His sessions might feel uncomfortable. His words might feel like they're hitting below the belt. But for the right kind of person, that's the exact kind of wake-up slap that changes everything. This isn't therapy for the faint of heart. This is transformation through truth. The Sigma won't coddle you, but he will challenge you to get real. No excuses, no playing the victim. He'll sit with your pain, but he won't let you use it as a shield. And here's the twist. People trust him more because he doesn't try to please them. There's no agenda, no performance. Just a quiet man who's walked through fire and knows how to spot the exit. If you're a Sigma male who's wrestled with your own shadow and come out sharper, colder, wiser, you don't need a license to guide others. You just need the guts to speak the truth no one else will. Because sometimes healing doesn't come from comfort. It comes from someone finally saying, here's what's really going on. Number 11, professional loner. Writer, the one who writes what everyone else is afraid to admit. Some people write for likes, others write for applause. But Sigma males write because they have to, because it's the only way to process a world that never quite made sense to them. Whether it's novels, screenplays, or essays that cut too deep for the mainstream, Sigma writers aren't here to entertain. They're here to expose truth, even if it makes people uncomfortable. This is the writer who vanishes for weeks, locked in a room with coffee, silence, and a war going on in his head. Not because he's antisocial, but because solitude is where the real work happens. He's not at book signings or writing clubs. He's on his own timeline, building entire worlds behind closed doors. And when he emerges, he doesn't ask for approval. He drops the work and walks away. You either get it or you don't. He's not sticking around to explain. The Sigma writer isn't scared to tackle what others avoid. Uncomfortable truths, flawed characters, twisted plots, brutal essays that say what everyone's thinking but won't admit out loud. He'll write about the darkness in human nature without trying to fix it or soften it. Because he's not trying to be liked. He's trying to be honest. And here's what makes him unstoppable. He doesn't write for an audience. He writes for clarity, for release, for himself. The page becomes a mirror, every sentence a step closer to self-mastery. And strangely, that raw honesty, it ends up attracting readers who are starving for something real. He doesn't need to chase book deals or followers. His words will find their way. Why? Because truth travels. Authenticity spreads. And even if it takes years, his work will cut through the noise like a whisper louder than a scream. So if you're the kind of man who sees what others overlook, who feels too much and speaks too little, maybe it's time to write it down. Not to be heard, but to finally hear yourself. In conclusion, some people were made to follow the crowd, others were born to walk alone and lead without ever needing a spotlight. Let's get something clear right from the start. Sigma males don't just want a job, they want freedom. Freedom to think, move, earn, and live without constantly checking in with a boss, pretending to be social, or wasting energy on things that don't matter. If that sounds like you, then you're in the right place. See the regular 9-to-5 setup? That's built for the average person. Structure, rules, endless meetings, small talk, approval seeking, it works for them. But it slowly kills the Sigma soul. You're wired differently. You thrive in solitude, think deeply, and perform best when left alone to master your craft. You don't care about climbing ladders, you build your own roof. This video isn't going to give you cliché career advice like, become a doctor or lawyer. No. These 14 jobs are tailor-made for people like you. Quietly driven, mentally sharp, fiercely independent. Jobs that don't force you to become someone you're not just to survive. Instead, they let you lean into your natural strengths, focus, creativity, self-control, and a no-nonsense work ethic. So if you've ever felt out of place in this noisy world, understand, you're not broken. You're built for something different. Stay tuned till the end. Because one of these paths might just be the key to unlocking the life you've always known you were meant to live, on your own terms. Thank you for watching. God bless you.